moment. So it's called No One to Blame. He walked down the corridor, my mum's hand tightly locked in his. The cold walls radiated their eerie chill. He was about to receive a cruel message. He never was one for talking much. Now in his late 60s, the wrinkles merged into the natural contours of his face, locking in the anticipation of what was to transpire. Filing into the clinic, the two of them waited to hear the results of the tests. His fragile build struggled to carry his weight. Fear rose in his eyes, brow moistened in apprehension. The announcement made, his mouth dried as the reality of the words came to pass. A strong man discovering his vulnerability is an awkward thing to witness. The two walked to the bus stop, his face still numb from the news. It was going to be a long road to travel, but they'd do it together, just as they'd always had. They didn't know how to tell us. It wasn't anyone's fault. Sometimes these things just happen. We never thought it would happen to him. They held hands all the way home, the emotion welling in his eyes, the past suddenly irrelevant as the future unfolded itself before them. For 40 years they'd been as one. Through all the splinters and scars, they'd always overcome anything. He'd put the kettle on and slumped in his chair. No amount of sugar could sweeten this, staying true to that moment. The best way to be right now, they thought we hadn't noticed. The hot tea stung his lips, as though the numbness had gone. This can't get better with just a band-aid, and for once, there was no one to blame. Thank you very much. Next up we have Laura and Nate. Woo! Different, some of you have heard this before. I wrote it about 6 years ago. It's called A Unique Celebration. And it goes like this. Always stood out from any crowd. I know not why Providence blessed me as such. Never wanting my individuality cast under a shroud. My essential nature, pure to the touch. Was diagnosed with hydrocephalus in my very early youth. Enlarged skull, a permanent reminder of who I really am. Spent so many years living in the shadows of untruth. I fight it, no longer wishing to endure this mindless sham. Sometimes I wonder why God chose me. A 1 in 2,500 chance isn't all that rare. The ignorant hordes simply refuse to let me be. Just try and crush my spirit, if you dare. My 30 plus years give me an essential insight. I never ever wished to be in this way defined. Misery and darkness now give way to hope and light. Those who know me well get exactly what they hope to find. It was so very, very hard to disclose. Those vultures of destiny quick to point and snigger. What is truly in my heart only God knows, and only He can end my life by pulling fate's trigger. I never realised what warmth people had inside, their smiles touching my very soul. Don't ever again feel the need to cringe and hide, to educate the universe, my ultimate goal. If you don't know me, do you know how I ignite with love inside? I may be different, but that doesn't make me wrong. Behind every irregularity I exist. I'm human, I've nothing to hide. Unique, that's me. And right now, I've never ever felt so strong. Thank you. Thank you very much.